I don't know about you, but I like my flesh to remain on my body, not floating around the ocean. Try not to do that, but if you can go in an ocean where there are no sharks, that is the most blissful thing a human can do, because water is so healing. I asked my dad, like, where's that toy in the toy store where we take this thing and we shoot a jet of light and energy out of it, and then we levitate objects. I was like, where's that toy? And then he's like, there's no such toy. And I was like, there is, I remember. But it was one of the most direct experiences I had, where I like commanded or requested, probably both, because we have some internal power too for energy, Reiki energy, to come into that situation and do a specific action. And it did. And I was like blown away. Hey guys, hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zephyr. Thanks for being here. I cover things in life, health, spirituality, so mind, body, spirit. Some of my hobbies like books. I also release commercial music. I write, and I just try to be a creative soul all around. Today I'm a bit under the weather, so my voice is going to be a bit hoarse and gruff, so if you can excuse that, that would be perfect. I also live in Singapore, and we have a lot of army camps around here because it's a small nation, so there might be some helicopters flying around. And this is a spare room in my parents' house, a Singapore law that prevents us from buying a house right now. So ignore all the colors around you, but I hope you like them. Not everything's mine. Today I want to talk about how I don't want to say controlled, but I would like to say I inspired the energy inside a dog yesterday at a traffic light, and we had the most wonderful connection, and it was at will. I willed it to happen. Or maybe if you're Hindu, you might say, it was meant to happen. Either way, for me, who is largely conditioned by Western media, although I do live in Southeast Asia, I would like to imagine that I willed that thought into being, which I did, I think, unless you want to take the Hindu route again. I sent Reiki energy to this dog, and I almost wished it to turn around, and it did, and it came straight at me, and we had the most wonderful connection. Then the owner couldn't take the dog away after that from there, because the dog just wanted to sit there and bask in that Reiki energy. Let me give you the full story now. So for me, I've been doing Reiki for a while, steadily getting the qualifications for Usui Reiki, which was the version by Mikao Usui, which is apparently how it started. I say the word apparently not out of disrespect, but because everything in history could have gone another way. These are just stories from people. I tend to believe in humanity and the truth in certain things, so I believe it's true, but you don't have to. As with all things in history across all industries. And so I did my level 1 in 2020, then in 2022 I did level 3, because 1 and 2 was at the start together. And this year, 2023, I did 3B a while ago, which is the teacher level. And leading up to the teacher level a month or two ago till now, the synchronicities and spiritual connection has been off the charts. Of course, I've been doing my own work as well, so I cannot say that it was only attributed to just going for a Reiki class and suddenly the world changed, obviously. But I believe everything works in tandem and together. And so it's just the perfect confluence of factors for me at the moment. I apologize about that noise. That's a guy upstairs moving furniture around. We live in public housing. And so everything happens together and it's a confluence. And this has been a time of, I get like 6 to 7 synchronicities a day. I ask a question as I'm going for a walk, and my spirit guide answers me. And as I turn the corner, I see my birth date flash on the block number. I just walk past the block number 2410. And things like that is happening 6 to 7 times an hour. And if you're a new viewer, thanks for being on my channel. If you already know me, then you already know that I'm pretty spiritually tuned. So here's what happens yesterday. I walk out at night with my dad. It's a cold evening. We're heading to the mall down the road, which is about, in the US, I guess that would be 6-7 blocks away, maybe a 20-30 minute walk. I decided to go for that walk because I've done my weights, and now I want to do the cardio to, get a nice chiseled face for you guys. So I'm going to do the cardio, and I'm going to do the walk with him with my barefoot shoes, and I'll link a review about my barefoot shoes above once it's back on this channel. I decided to combine channels under me. And so I'm walking and I'm losing weight, and I'm talking to my dad and we're having a bonding. I've been repairing our relationship the last few years. And so we're walking, and after a while I come across this dog at the traffic light in front of me, because we're approaching the traffic light and the dog's in front of me, right? The dog's in front of me. I'm over here, right? We're walking. I see the dog facing forward with its owner, right? And so I get this sudden urge to send Reiki energy with the symbols. So that was the symbol that takes out, what needs to be taken out and healed, and then the power symbol to put like powerful universal energy in. And I just had this intuition to send healing energy to the dog. At the same time, I had this selfish urge to ask the dog to turn around and bond with the dog. Well, I wouldn't say it's completely selfish, because when we scratch the dogs, they enjoy themselves too, and we enjoy ourselves too, and so on. And humans like furry animals and whatever. So I sort of commanded the energy to do that. And the dog, so let's say I'm the dog now and Zephyr's behind me. So the dog's looking forward like this, and suddenly he goes, and he turns around like a 180, and he looks at me and he starts walking towards me while on the leash with the owner who's waiting for the traffic light. And I bend down, as we usually do when dogs or animals or kids shorter than us approach us, to be at eye level, right, or as close as possible. And I give it my hand. I wasn't sure if it was male or female, and then it starts licking the hand, and I start scratching it, and it starts enjoying itself, and it's smiling. Like, sometimes you can see these smiles. And then he walks over, turns around, sits down next to me, and faces the same direction in the traffic lane. He's sitting here and I'm sitting here. I'm looking sideways at him. I'm looking forward. I'm talking to the owner to not make it awkward. Sometimes it's awkward because we want to actually talk to the pet, not really to the human. but I'm talking to the human. I'm like, how old is it? And so on. And he goes like, oh, it's 3. And I was like, oh, thanks, letting me know. And then I was just like playing with it. Because I and my wife, we naturally have this affinity for animals, at least I do. I think that's to do with the music thing and the healing thing, or just that I am divinely blessed in different ways, just like all of us humans are blessed in different ways. I tend to be divinely blessed a little bit. What I mean is spiritually blessed, and have some spiritual gifts which transcend into the other realms. Probably like you might have a gift for engineering or music or authoring or also spirituality, or whatever your gifts are, right? Animals usually gravitate towards me and my wife. Whenever we're out, a 20-minute walk can turn into an hour because of all the different animals So I was like, I don't want to make this too long. So the moment the traffic light changed, I got up and I was like, thanks so much. I was like, thanks so much. See you, bye. And then gave it like a little rub under the chin, and then just started walking off. And the dog is still sitting there happily looking at me, looking around. And this is my imagination probably, thinking about how amazing life is. And the owner couldn't pull him or it away. And I heard from my left ear as we were walking this way, because it was a two-sided signal. And I heard him go, come on, let's go, let's go. The dog wasn't moving. And so I had got the dog comfortable in that energy, or maybe Reiki energy got it comfortable, or my spirit guides got it comfortable, however you want to think about it. But the point is that was, I wouldn't say the first time, but it was one of the most direct experiences I had, where I commanded or requested, probably both, because we have some internal power too for energy, requested and commanded Reiki energy to come into that situation and do a specific action, and it did. And I was like, blown away. I have been blown away before also, and I do a lot of Reiki, and I send crystal healing and Reiki healing to clients. There's some crystals on my table. Here's one, a red capped sort of purple crystal, right? And I know there's a million names for them. I'm not going to go into that right now. I also have this one. This is one of my best and really cool ones that I picked up from my Reiki master Parag. A green aventurine, and blue-green has always resonated with me. It's also, blue-green's the higher heart chakra, so in between the heart and the throat chakra. And if you think about it, well, I sing and I express my heart, so that just makes sense. But it was the first time that it was so specific in that sense. Not the first time. There's been many, but this was just amazing. It's like, I don't want to say commanding a physical object, because a dog is not a physical object, but it is physical. It's in the physical realm. And we had an energy, it's almost like love, like falling in love, right? Like you look at a girl, she looks at you, you both are sort of requesting and willing the other to fall in love with you at the same time. That kind of vibe. And I was like, wow, that is just amazing. And I had to make this video to tell you guys about it, because it really feels like it's accelerating in my life, along with the spiritual awakening on earth happening right now. It has been for a while. I've been into this stuff about 6-7 years, consciously or professionally, if you'd like to call it that way. But as a kid, I was always playing with energy. And as a kid, I would think of past life experiences, and I used to ask my dad, Maybe because I saw it in a cartoon, but lots of kids saw it in a cartoon, but I was one of those who asked the question, so that has to mean something. I asked my dad, like, where's that toy in the toy store where we take this thing and we shoot a jet of light and energy out of it, and then we levitate objects. I was like, where's that toy? And then he's like, there's no such toy. And I was like, there is. I remember. Whether that's remember from a past life or remember from a cartoon, probably both, because lots of realms intersect all the time. And he was like, nope, there's no such toy, man. I was like, okay. I wanted to share this little anecdote and story with you guys, and hopefully you have similar synchronicities, lovely occurrences in your daily life. You can use your powers and your love and your energy for healing, for affecting beautiful beings around you, like animals, flowers, plants, nature, the sun, whatever, right? Because all our energy affects each other. As you might probably know, if you're on my channel, you probably are in tune with this stuff already. Yeah, I mean, lastly, I also teach Reiki now. So if you'd like a Reiki attunement, or you'd like to start your Reiki journey with level 1, level 2, we can look into it. I'm arranging sessions in different parts of the world, and Singapore as well, where I stay. Obviously that one would be in person. Overseas I might visit you, or we could do it online over a Zoom call and so on. I got my level 1 and 2 through distance attunements, and I just shared with you an example of me doing things like that, so we know it works. And yeah, it's been a wonderful gift in my life, universal energy, and I'm so glad to have it, and maybe one day you can have it too. So go check out any healers around you, or contact me, or just explore spirituality, whatever that means to you. There's no rushing, there's no right path. It can mean writing poetry, it can mean writing mystical novels, reading mystical novels, going out into the ocean. Just don't get bit by sharks. I feel that's quite a silly move. I don't know about you, but I like my flesh to remain on my body, not floating around the ocean. Try not to do that, but if you can go in an ocean where there are no sharks, that is the most blissful thing a human can do, because water is so healing. Thanks for being on my channel. I hope you derived some value from this. If you did, please hit like on this video, please subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell icon if you want notifications, and if you don't, that's cool too. And yeah, check out the other videos at the end of this video, after the next few slates, which shows my socials and so on. And I love to stay connected on socials, and maybe by email, or you could sign up to my email list on my website, whatever you prefer. I also release music. It's on all major platforms. Take care, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.